Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to join the chairman in welcoming you, Dr. Elmendorf. And 2 weeks ago, you and your colleagues at the Congressional Budget Office released an analysis of the economic impact of the so-called fiscal cliff, painting a very somber picture of what might happen if Congress fails to address expiring tax cuts and the looming automatic spending cuts that occur at year's end. You predicted a possible recession early next year and millions more out of work if we were to actually go over that fiscal cliff. Yet your long-term outlook, CBO's long-term outlook, which we're discussing today, also confirms that continuing to do business as usual, extending all current tax and spending policies, will produce unsustainable deficits and debt, which will also hurt the economy in the long run. Taken together, the two CBO reports reinforce the fact that Congress must adopt a two-track strategy of, one, acting now to boost our fragile economy and help put more Americans back to work, and number two, acting now to put in place a balanced approach to long-term deficit reduction that doesn't take resources out of the economy in the near term. This is the opposite approach of those who advocate for immediate, steep austerity measures, the type of measures that have been pushed by some of our European partners, like the UK, and put them back into a recession. On the first step, putting Americans back to work, we need to enact the President's jobs plan that the White House sent to the Congress 9 months ago. That proposal includes significant new investment in building roads, bridges, transitways, and other needed infrastructure. At a time of over 14% unemployment in the construction industry and super low interest rates, this should be a no-brainer. We call upon Speaker Boehner to put the President's jobs proposal to a vote on the floor of the House. The second step is for lawmakers, the Congress, the President, to adopt a plan to reduce the deficit in a balanced way by applying the kind of framework of spending cuts and revenues generated by eliminating certain tax breaks that has been recommended by bipartisan groups like Simpson-Bowles. That plan should extend tax relief for working families and replace the sequester with a balanced approach to deficit reduction so our economy does not go over the fiscal cliff. Unfortunately, the Speaker's threat to let the nation default on its debt if Republicans cannot impose their European-style austerity plan is cementing the view in capital markets that lawmakers will fail to reach an agreement before the end of the year. That manufactured crisis creates uncertainty that will undermine confidence and weaken the economy. The Standard & Poor's downgrade of the U.S. credit rating last year was due to forecasts of continued political gridlock. Yet for many in the House of Representatives, compromise remains a dirty word. Mr. Chairman, we look forward to having a willing partner, willing to make the necessary compromises to both make sure our economy kicks into full gear and also develops a balanced plan to reduce the deficit over the long term. Thank you.